Hi traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. So we'll do a bit of a rundown over last night. It was a bit of an eventful night. Some strong moves higher, depending on what asset class you were trading. Basically, we saw negative moves for most of the Asian session. We can just see here that the euro was trading down to 1035, and this is across as well on some of the yen pairs as well. So we can see here quite clearly how negative the day was at one point. So we're down to 120.11 on the euro yen. Everything changed after news hit into the London session that there's going to be a tariff rollback during the trade deal phases. The JPY and gold were hit the hardest. They reversed very sharply. Just looking at the JPY here on the 1 hour, you can see how strong that move, that reversal was once that news hit. So this didn't carry through all the way through the New York session, as news came out later that the rollback was facing fierce internal opposition in the White House, and this basically left the market with a bit of chop into the New York session. So just seeing on the euro here, you can see it actually reversed and fell to the USD, but the Aussie dollar held its gains. It did trim some of its gains, but it did hold on. And the pound, for different reasons, did end the session lower, but did hold some gains. Well, sorry, it was flat to the yen after posting a decent rally after reversing losses. That was due to the Bank of England holding rates. Carney basically expressed that growth had slowed below potential, and people weren't really expecting a big rate change pre-early election. So some other news was that EU lowered its growth forecasts. GDP is now revised down to 1.1%. Today at 11:30 we have the RBA monetary policy statement coming out. So it's 11:30 AM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And the other key high impact news coming out today will be Canadian employment data coming out at 12:30 AM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. They're looking for an employment change of 14.7k and unemployment to come in at 5.5%. So going back to last night, stocks really saw the biggest gains and held their gains. So US stocks hit new records. The Dow continues to not only have played catch up, but now is really pushing quite a lot higher. The Nasdaq and S&P also pushing higher into all-time records again overnight. The DAX was the big leader last night in Europe. It had a very strong session. It still hasn't made new all-time records yet like the US is, but it is inching closer. And the CAC was another standout overnight in gains reached. So just going back to gold, was hit very heavily again overnight, so it sunk 1.46% for the session, and we'll jump onto gold in a moment. So far today we're seeing higher stocks locally. The ASX is up 0.18%, and the Nikkei just in the green, up 0.011%. So some small gains on in Asia, but the ASX actually did start the session slightly lower. At the moment, risk currencies are higher to the USD, and we're seeing gains and pretty flat trade so far to the Japanese yen. So the pound, you can see in front of us, is higher, but at the moment the euro is just edging higher. It was flat most of the morning, and the Aussie dollar is pretty flat as well. But to the USD, we are seeing some Asian session gains at the moment. So we're going to have a quick look at the Aussie and then on to gold. We can see that the Aussie is really moving and being guided at the moment by the current trade situation between the US and China. So we can see that it had that move down yesterday to 68.61, basically 68.61.2, but this previous high held, and there's a point of support here. So this continues to hold buyer demand, and price reversed quite sharply, trading back up to, at its high 69 level, but it closed the session just below that 69 point. So It does look like it's trying to push for a continuation while we see this demand from these areas. So we're looking for, if trade news continues to come out on a positive note, we're kind of looking for this to become a continuation higher, but we'd need to see buyers break above this level to show continued buy momentum and interest. If we see another close below this level, it'll start to be a bit of a worry that there's not as much buyer demand currently in the AUD USD. Now just quickly moving over to gold. We saw how quickly and how strong that sell-off was last night. Interestingly, it did stop around this level. We have seen demand previously back in October on 2 occasions, and then again we've seen the third point of demand come in again around that area overnight. So either way though, we've seen a pretty solid break lower again. And there was that triangle pattern that now looks to be confirmed. So it's really now basically down to the trade negotiations and phase 1 deal and how that impacts if we're going to see gold start to continue lower and form a new medium-term downtrend. So we'd be looking for new lower highs to set up anywhere between this level and up to this level, and then to fail we sell it's fading, and then we need to see a real clean break of this area here. A good solid break below this level starts to set up the idea that a short to medium term downtrend is underway. But looking at the bigger term picture, we can still see this very strong healthy uptrend. So normally traders look down to the 61.8 fib point, but at the moment we can see that the medium-term trend has been broken, and that if we do continue to break that level lower, more and more pressure is going to build on that uptrend. So we hope you have a very good trading day for the rest of today, and we hope you have a great weekend. Thanks, bye for now.